Hey, welcome back to Second Run Gaming. I'm Austin, and we are here yet again with Massive Chalice. We just finished a victory that went pretty damn well. We got lucky. There was just a bunch of big explodey boys and only one big shooty boy. So, yeah, super lucky on that one, especially because our last battle before that was pretty rough. So now we're back in our City Sim hangouts, our stalwart place, whatever, the Sage Rights Guild has another Mark of the Cadence, but we've got Timothy Dormour, a level 2 male alchemist, and I'm just going to check the timeline to see what else kind of happened on that day. I feel like a couple things happened. So yeah, we won. Anna McMorty died at 66, which is the person that had like no skills at all. Jesus. We got the health file. We had another baby. We promoted Mark, and James Landon died. So it all happened around that same time. Moving on, so the Vitala band is 6 years away, and we are 257 years away from basically the end of the game. Let's keep rocking. Sweet, more babies. I'm a fan. Bunch of babies. Definitely, anytime you hear that sad piano music, that means somebody died. I always kind of check just to see who it is. So, Jackie came of age. We got a Krixara, Jesus, who was born, and Aetolopus, who's also been born. And then Paul came of age, Gabriel came of age, and Rajes has been born. And then Christian has been born, Kira has been born, and Lynn came of age. So we probably just got a bunch of new heroes that we'll check out on our next, our next thing. But yeah, so now House Liu has 5 people in training. Marquand has 4 people in training, and Raiden has 3 people in training. So we're definitely building up a decent group now, which is great because we were running real light.
We can't decide on what the right move is here.
So, we require a third party.
Okay, so we've got a new dilemma. Field trip. A teacher would like to bring her class to the capital so they can learn about how the nation is governed. However, she didn't want to wait for a decision, and now she and her students are standing before you with the most pleading eyes you've ever seen. What do you say? Of course, but please stay in the throne room. Try the barracks, our heroes are far more interesting hosts than I am, or go wherever you like, whatever helps with your education. Huh. I'm gonna say just of course, but please stay in the throne room. Seems like that's probably the best thing. Going wherever seems pretty intense, and they came unannounced, and I feel like the barracks is great, but I don't know how my heroes are really equipped for handling a bunch of students. So fingers crossed this doesn't backfire and no one jumps into the Chalice. Great! Okay, so why we fight. You give a few lectures on governing principles, but most of the day is simply spent exploring your home. As you watch the little ones run around, you realize that it's remarkably comforting seeing children who don't have to worry about training for war, and that there's a spirited, even mischievous optimism about them that infects everyone they run into. In fact, once the day is over, nobody seems more reinvigorated by the visit than the Chalice itself, which means our current research has been hastened by 25%. That's awesome. So now we're only a year away. I really do want the health vial that we're looking at, or like the Vitala band, which is going to just make our max health higher, but it would be great to be able to research something else instead, and a little bit sooner. Tyler of the Sage Rights Guild has died. So now we have 2 openings. It'd probably be really nice just for our research to throw someone else in here, especially because Susie's 85. Jesus. Saltus has great intuition. He's 32, but he's not from any house. He's dim-witted. He has bad movement, and he has reduced evasion. I don't think we're going to want to use him. As far as hunters, we're really leaning on the Lius. So, I mean, ideally, I would want to make one more keep that is hunters. I'd like to have 4 keeps in this game, and I prefer hunters as a class. But there's no way Saltus is going to be around, I think, by the time that we're ready for another keep. It might even just be another Liu keep, to be honest, to just keep that line stronger. So I think we're going to induct him since his intuition is already just so good. And he's decently young for a sage, right? So that means that he'll be helping us with our research for hopefully like 50 years. Which, I mean, is basically another 6 more episodes. Cool, so we have Saltus and Susie. And then I'm just going to look. We got Timothy Dormour, who's a new guy. He's an alchemist. I like his little massive chalice and crab arms emblem. That's very nice. He's brainy, he's hardy, and he's a quick study. He's got some great traits, but his accuracy's bad, and his evasion is bad. Which sucks. And he's 40. That's tough. Same deal. He's not somebody that we're kind of working on. We're not making a new keep. He's older in age. I also, as far as research, we might search for more heroes soon. So I think that, again, because his intuition is decent and he's already kind of on the upper echelon of age ranges, we'll throw him in there too. So we've got Saltus, Timothy, and Susie now. Because, yeah, we've lost a couple sage rights. And as you can see, these are the guys that are dying of just natural causes, not in battle. And between 60 and 70 is kind of the baseline for most things. So I'm surprised that our other sage right's 85. I bet you she's probably not going to be able to research for too much longer. Okay. Alright, so research complete. The wellness rings turned out to be nonsense, but that didn't stop us from finishing our Vitalobands. Within seconds of slipping one on, your hero will feel their health soar. Okay, so we could build another keep, but I feel like that's still a little early. Refining armor is pretty nice, so we can look at that at least to think about it. So refined hunter armor. With better armor for our hunters, risking one's well-being for more accurate shots suddenly becomes more enticing. Completing this research reduces the cost of additional refined armors as well, which is good because if we do one, then the other ones are going to be easier. We have a ramcat caber now that we can research, so what if the explosions from ruptures could be weaponized? Adding explosive tips to cabers would push enemies around a lot farther than our standard models. That's pretty good. We can also do just advanced weapons training. So advanced crossbow training. Crossbows are complicated. Take the time to really figure out why it's best to use bear gut for bowstrings instead of the more common cat gut, and you'll discover a whole new world of damage potential. Completing this research reduces the cost of, again, other advanced trainings as well. I feel like we haven't researched armor or weapons at all so far, and so I do want to discover new heroes soon as well, just because it's always good to have fresh blood. But I think that we want to start working on this. I usually go for health-based things first, so I'm going to give our hunters better armor. It's going to take a long fucking time, but hopefully we can get that done before our next battle, or close to. That way we just won't be as squishy when we go into it. Yep. Crazy that Susie made it to 87, honestly. I don't think there's anybody else we should induct right now, because now you're seeing that we've got people in our main group. I'm just gonna, anytime I see the +1, you can't really pick anything, you just get the first ability. So I kind of just prefer to just get that out of the way. But yeah, almost everybody that we have, that is why it's probably good maybe after we do our armor research to get some more heroes, just to kind of brush up the mix of things. If we have heroes from other houses that aren't our mainline houses, those are kind of the prime candidates to add into the Crucible, definitely to the Sage Rights Guild, and then also to be kind of spouses for our regions as well.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we do have another attack. We're 8 years away, so yikes. So if we protect this territory, we get a newborn baby, which is pretty nice. It's got ruptures and bulwarks, so what we fought last time. Or we can go over here. It's a 25% reduction in the current research time, which I really like. And it's the same enemy type. Neither of them have cadence on their territories, so that's not an issue. But this one has a keep on its territory, so we want to kind of protect that if we can. So we're going to definitely go over there. And for the first time in a long time, we've got the same group of people. But now Brandon, oh god, he looks so ragged now. He is old. I also totally lied. I totally forgot. So the Vitaliband is another item. I kind of forgotten about that. I thought that maybe that was going to be like a permanent thing. So there's a health vial we can use, or there's a vitality man which increases the max health. It's kind of unfortunate. I wish I would have given Brandon that second equipment slot now. Because honestly, I prefer the health vial. I think it's better to be able to choose when you heal as opposed to just having a little bit more health. But the second that we're maybe able to have 2 slots, we'll definitely use that. I don't think the Vital Band took more than a couple years to research anyway, so I'm not really too broken up about it, but I was hoping that that was just a permanent fix, so that's kind of a bummer.
It's a fine day for battle, all things considered.
Every day is a fine day for battle.
Totally fucked up and forgot. That we have another house that isn't in this fight yet, because Ashley Vesti is not for that. So give me just a second. I'm gonna see if I can load in, but I bet you yeah, it's in battle already. So that's the thing. I'll just have to be really vigilant on it. Is like, even though this is a Vanguard that we chose last time, Ashley was kind of a stand-in for the last house, the Marquand house, and I do think that we have people of age, so that kind of is going to set us back a little bit. So, oh well. At least we have 2 Lius and 2 Raidens, and hopefully we can get at least most of those guys to the 3rd level, or Brandon maybe to even a 5th level. Okay. I'm going to bring Magnus over here. As you can see, Magnus at level 2 as opposed to level 1, like, he's got 6 more health going on, which is amazing. We're definitely going to just, hit him with the flask shot right out the gate, take him down just a little bit, and then if I can, with Brandon, just kind of combo that, get these 2 guys out quickly so that we just don't have to worry about them. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm still trying to front load Brandon with experience just so he can really get, I really want to guarantee that we have a relic. I don't want to accidentally, like, think that we're set on him just because he has a nickname, just because he's level 4, and then accidentally not get a relic somehow out of him. Because it is really important to start building that. And even though we have 250 more years before this game is over, that time goes by a lot faster, and you really got to build things up over time pretty intentionally in this game. I'm just gonna rush everybody up. I don't see any other enemies. We're gonna keep Lavix where he's at since he's the last guy, though. Okay. And then, yeah, we'll keep kind of scouting ahead with Magnus just to see what's up here. And Magnus, yeah, so he's pretty early on in level 2. Brandon is pretty mid in level 4. But it's a lot more experience to get to level 5. I really want to try and get him to level 5. Once he gets to 5, though, I mean, I think we can really back off on him probably and let Magnus hopefully get a couple levels in under his belt. Yeah, we'll just keep whittling on up. Definitely, especially on Iron Man mode, I mean, slow and steady does win the race. We've only got 5 people, like I said, and as we saw earlier, like, things can really take a turn and go south so quickly in this game. And yep, there's the Bulwark. I think Magnus is really kind of wide open, which I don't love. And Brandon is also kind of wide open, which I don't love. Curious to see if he can hide anywhere. He can stealth move, but Magnus has been spotted already, so he's pretty much stuck here. And I could move with him if I want, but we want to kind of just get bulwarks out as soon as we possibly can. So I'm going to see if Brandon can see them. Maybe they just can't see Brandon. Yeah, so I can do 10 to 13 damage, or 13 to 15. That's what we really want. 14 to 16 over here, but just want to offload as much onto the bulwark as possible. And that takes out the carapace and damages him even more. Now he's only going to take 1 damage at a time. So there's really no point and Magnus taking the heat for that. So I'm going to move him back behind a tree. It just means that Brandon's probably going to take the brunt of that punch from our bulwark. He's probably going to come running. So I'm going to move Lavix kind of behind-ish this tree. And Ashley kind of to follow suit. Just I'm hoping that he's going to just really focus on our Brandon guy over here and not really pay attention to whoever's out of his line of sight. Perfect, he actually had to sprint, so that's even better. I wonder if I can, yeah, 17 to 22 or 22 to 25. I can just take him out right here and now. So that's what we're gonna do. Beautiful. Cool, and he's definitely, yeah, he's bumping up his experience points, so I'm not necessarily too worried about him maybe hitting level 5 before the end of things here. Oh yeah, there's another one. And he sees us, but he's pretty far away. He hasn't spotted Magnus, so I'm gonna definitely just hide him. And with Lavix and Ashley, we'll probably... Honestly, I think we're going to keep them all there just because I think that that's far enough away based on the last guy that he... Oh, yeah, he doesn't even know. Let's see if Magnus can see him from here. He can't. You can see that rupture, though. It's definitely good. Any chance we can get to take down a rupture is probably good. Real bad to forget about those guys. And, yeah, Brandon can totally pick him off for just some easy experience. Keep working on that 5th level. Yeah, he's doing so much damage now. It's wonderful. And yeah, he has that put down ability, so he does extra damage anytime they're like half hurt. So that combo is definitely, I think, the way to do it. We'll rush Leaf up there. I don't know where that bulwark is. Okay, he's right there. So it's possible that he might shoot straight through both of these guys. So that might suck, honestly. But it's where we're at. Not much really to be done there. I'm going to try and spread everybody out so that maybe one person will draw his attention more. Or even if that doesn't happen, that at least we're all close enough to where we can do damage to him quickly. Okay, great. Yeah, that's way better. I mean, it's not ideal for Leaf, but he'll get through it. So I guess the only thing is I do want Brandon probably to do damage first here since he does so much. 13 to 15 as opposed to Magnus, which would be 9 to 11. And then Lavix can do 14 to 18. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll have Lavix run up there and just see if he can't knock a good... Yeah, 15. That's a solid hit right there. Yeah, I just wish these guys weren't the explosive caper types because I really wish we could knock them back. I'm going to see if I can't charge from this direction and knock him. I don't think I really can. Ugh. I wish I could. So, not much we can do. I'll just move Ashley over here at least. There's no point really free throwing a flask right now. We can do a damage at a time by hitting them, which is something. Leaf already took damage. I don't mind if Leaf takes damage again, because it's not going to be 10. Oh, shit. Well, that's something to focus on now. I'm going to rotate Ashley here, just so she's at least a space closer to these ruptures. And then Brandon can't see them, and he's going to be sprinting if he goes anywhere, so... That's kind of tough. I guess I'll keep Brandon here and just knock 1 damage at least off the bulwark. You would be surprised, but sometimes it does come down to 1 damage with those guys since you only get to hit them 1 time. So yeah, we'll just try and whittle them down. Hope that... Oh, combo shot. Oof. I'm bad with math and geometry, so I usually do not get those angles correctly, and then they hit most of my dudes. So yeah, since Ashley has a free throw, I really want to utilize that. She's going to have to move here. But that's not too bad. And then she should be able to free throw and then standard throw. But more than anything, I do not want Leaf to get caught in the crossfire there. 68% chance versus 7% chance. I don't really trust him to take out this guy either. I'm going to leave that to Lavix. Beautiful. I think this turn is just going to be Leaf's time to kind of get back into safety and heal. But yeah, that's kind of a recipe where like it's easy for me to just be like, oh, just throw these flasks real quick, get them out of the way. But since this is only 49, I could so easily just go right here and just kill Leaf immediately. I've had that happen before. But if I can take both of them out with these flasks, that would be just peachy. I think I can. Almost. Hey, but that works. It just gives, what's his butt, Brandon, yet another notch on his belt. Let's just keep racking them up. And that was 2 bulwarks and a decent amount of ruptures. We'll see how many enemies are left. Definitely still a couple hanging out. We'll keep Magnus as our scout again. They might be in the opposite direction. Oh no, okay. They're still over here. This is probably it. I feel like 3 bulwarks is a decent amount for early game. So I will say Lavix does a lot of damage. And Brandon's better at taking them down after they've already been hit. So I think we're going to stick with Lavix's deal on things. But I'm curious if I move him here, if he can charge and knock this guy out. He only does 4 to 5 damage if we do that though. So I'm going to move him and have him just hit from right here. Hell yeah, 18 is wonderful. And then I'm going to see if Leaf can't do his charge. And hopefully knock him into this tree. Yeah, because that should stun him. Beautiful. Even though Leaf will take us some corrosive damage, now he's not really a threat to us. So we can just pump him with a couple arrows. I know that there's that rupture out there, but he doesn't seem within range enough. So I'm not going to try and coax him out quite yet, just in case he's somehow like close to Leaf. I don't want to invite that. Yeah, he was right behind that tree. And yeah, he totally just wasted his turn since he hadn't spotted us yet. So yeah, sometimes it's all about not triggering enemies at those specific times. So Lavix could probably get to level 3 if he takes out this bulwark. But alternatively, Brandon, I could really just kind of seal the deal and get him to the 5th level. I feel like these are the last couple enemies, and I know we're going to get a little bit of experience, but I don't want him to be almost at the 5th level with how much experience we've dumped in so far. That being said, that rupture is kind of a problem too. So I'm going to see if Magnus can at least see him from his vantage point. Can do 7 to 10 or 9 to 11. Well, 9 to 11 is a better move. And then we'll take damage if we do that, which is the only downside. But I don't think that Brandon can see him. And I don't want Ashley to just rando throw a flask. So Leaf and Lavix are both almost at that high level. I feel like we might just take damage for one of them, but we'll make sure that we can knock this out with Brandon first.
Another notch.
Beautiful. So yeah, that should be enough experience with the end of the chapter to also get him to the 5th level, and then we're just going to have Leaf use his explosive caber, hopefully get him to the 3rd level. It'll do some damage, but I think it's worth the risk. Yeah, it was only 1 too. Question is this the end of the level though? Hell yeah, it is.
I suspect we'll be hearing about this for a while.
Just don't get cocky. There's nothing an enemy loves more than some idiot charging into battle thinking they're invincible.
So says the near-suicidal Caberjack.
I'm not cocky, I'm confident.
So yeah, this is always kind of weird. When they level up those odd levels, you don't get a new ability, so it doesn't seem like a lot happened. But especially with Brandon being 50, he got, again, just like that last mission, almost all the kills. And so really the lion's share of the mission experience. But now he's really set up at the 5th level. If he is able to do one more battle, we'll try and rush him to the 6th level too. It's a lot of experience though, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it. And I don't really know if I want to take that experience away another time. We'll see. Magnus is totally going to get at least to the 3rd level the next time that he fights. And he's got about, almost 15 years on Brandon, so I'm feeling good about that. And then Leaf and Lavix are both mid-level 3s, so that's great. Ashley really didn't need to get anything because it was a mistake to bring her. I mean, thank you for your good work and the kills that you did get. But yeah, it's tempting to kind of work with new people, but you really want to keep your vanguard within your royal lines just so that you can kind of build those lines up. All right, so the research time is The research time has been reduced, so the time to complete research for refined hunter armor has been reduced by 2 full years and 2 days. So there's only 6 years and 6 days left on that stuff. Real quick before we advance time, we haven't checked in a second. So House Liu has 5 trainees. House Raiden has only 1 trainee currently. But I think a couple of theirs came of age recently. And then Marquand has 5 trainees, which is crazy. I'm gonna check our capital just to see what our hero roster looks like, because I feel like we've got a lot of new heroes since last we checked. Alright, cool. So Brandon's definitely top dog at the 5th level, and then we've got Leaf and Lavix, followed by Paul, who's new, but since they've been training with the Crucible, they kind of come in at a higher level. So we've got Paul, and we've got Christeron. And so yeah, Christeron's a new type of class. He's an enforcer because he's from our newest group of parents. So more of them will be enforcers once they reach of age. So enforcers are slightly different. Instead of the explosive arrow, they have a knockback arrow, which is a special blunt arrow that knocks targets backwards. And then we've got Ashley, Jackie, Magnus, Lauren, who's a blast capper still. I'd like to, once we pick new regions, I'll pay attention to maybe not having a fucking blast capper next time. And that comes from having parents who are an alchemist and a caberjack. And those are actually the old parents, so that shouldn't happen again. Then we've got Gabriel and Lynn. We haven't really looked at them, but they're alchemists. They have a ton of siblings, and they're boom strikers, which comes from an alchemist and a trick shot combination. That's what gives you the free throw and everything else like that. Definitely the combination I prefer with that stuff. So we've got 3 Marquand boom strikers. So yeah, there's absolutely no reason to have another alchemist in the ring that's not from that house. And then we just to sort by house real quick. So we've got 4 Lius in the fray at all varying ages. We've got 3 Marquands, but 5 I think in training. Raiden is the house that doesn't have a lot in training right now, and we do have 5 of them out in the field. So nothing too crazy to worry about. Alright, well, we're going to keep rushing forward and do some City Sim stuff, but that's it for this episode of Massive Chalice. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this playthrough. This game is super unique, super interesting, but I really like it. It's really endearing, and so far so good. We're past year 50. We've got a ways to go, but we're doing pretty damn good. So, yeah, see you next time. Thanks for watching.